Vasudev Prabhu and Vandana are here. So that's good. That's good. Um, yeah, thank you for inviting me to
Are
take
they
part.
still sleeping? Are they sleeping? You
No,
still
come on, Vasudev, what are you kidding me? This guy, this guy's up. He's puja. He's on a writing retreat right now. He's doing his writing right now. He's into it. Yeah, he's absorbed, man. We'll talk. We're going to talk about him a little bit later. All right, should I do the prayers? I know Adi
Yeah,
already did all of this previous, but I need it because my consciousness is low.
Listen, Nandi Bihar still has the speakerphone on. There's an echo.
Okay. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Janna Vallabha Girivardhari Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yamunatira Vanachari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopijana Vallabha Girivardhari Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yamunatira Vanachari Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Janna Vallabha Girivardhari Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yamunatira Vanachari Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jayam Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivirajikatarya Shota Shota Shishimanis Devange Shila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Shila Prabhupada Ki Jai Namachai Shri Haridas Thakur Ki Jai Prem Se Gohoshi Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shamakund Radhakund Giri Govardhan Ki Jai Shri Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai Shri Navadvip Mayapur Dham Ki Jai Shri Jagannath Puri Dham Ki Jai Shri Bhakti Center Dham Lower East Side of Manhattan, 26 Second Avenue, 25 First Avenue, Ki Jai. Nandako Devaisha Vrindi Ki Jai. Nitai Gaura Premanande. All glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 48, text number 15 through 19. And I will read all of the English first, and then we'll go through it. Text 15 and 19, I'll share my screen. O King, Akrura bathed the feet of Lord Krishna and Lord Balaram, then poured the bathwater on his head. He presented them with the gifts of fine clothing, aromatic sandalwood paste, flower garlands, and excellent jewelry. After thus worshipping the two lords, he bowed his head to the floor. He then began to massage Lord Krishna's feet, placing them on his lap, and with his head bowed in humility, he addressed Krishna and Balaram as follows. It is our good fortune that you two lords have killed the evil Kamsa and his followers, thus delivering your dynasty from endless suffering and causing it to flourish. You both are the original Supreme Person, the cause of the universe and its very substance, not the slightest subtle cause or manifest product of creation exists apart from you. O Supreme Absolute Truth, with your personal energies, you create this universe and then enter into it. Thus one can perceive you in many different forms by hearing from authorities and by direct experience. Purport, one of the wonderful servants of His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada. The grammatical agreement of Shruta Pratyaksha Gokcharam in the neuter case. That means in the neuter case means that it's not a he or a she, it's an it. For instance, I just sent a pair of shoes from Facebook Marketplace, and I texted the gentleman I sent them to, and I said, it's on its way. I don't know if those shoes were male or female, but I said, it's on its way. So that's a neuter case. With Atma, Shrastam, Idam, Vishvam indicates that the Supreme Lord, by entering his creation with his potencies, makes himself perceivable within the universe. Throughout the Bhagavatam and other authorized Vedic literature, we often find description of the Lord's simultaneous supremacy over all other things and his identity with them. We cannot reasonably draw any other conclusion from Vedic literature than the one powerfully preached by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Achintya Beda Beda Tattva. That is, the absolute truth is greater than and distinct from everything, since he is the omnipotent creator and then controller of all, and simultaneously one with everything, since all that exists is the expansion of his own power. Throughout these chapters of Srimad Bhagavatam, we also observe one of the unique, extraordinary features of this great work. Whether Krishna is sending his message to the gopis or accepting the prayers of Akrura, there's constant philosophical discussion. Throughout the Bhagavatam, the steady combination of fascinating pastimes with persistent spiritual philosophy is an extraordinary feature. We're allowed to glimpse and even to relish the spiritual emotions of the Lord and his liberated associates. And yet we are constantly reminded of their ontological position, lest we lapse into a cheap anthropomorphic vision. Thus, it is entirely in character with the work that Akrura, in his ecstasy, glorifies the Lord with precise philosophical prayers. Omaganya Timirandasya Giranjanan Shalakaya Chakshu Unmilitam Mena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Svaparantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shriuta Parakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavam Scha Shri Rupam Sagrijatam Sahagana Raghunatpitam Tam Sajivam Sadvetam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishaka Vitamscha. Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu, Dina Bandho Jagatpate, Gopesha Gopika Kanta, Radha Kanta Namostute. Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi, Radhe Brindavaneshwari, Prishabhanu Sute Devi, Prananami Hari Priye, Vanchakalpa Turubhascha Kripa Sindhu Bevacha, Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So as we read this purport, I've just downloaded The Great Bart, The Invasion Begins. Has anybody heard of that one? By a Mr. Howard Resnick, aka Hridayananda Goswami. Please download it. It's on Google Play. I binged it this weekend. 10.5 hours of binging this thing. I couldn't put it down. And as I read that purport, I felt like I was, Ridan Raj must have translated that one. I felt like I was saying the exact same thing that he, that even in the voice, because he narrates this. So he uses those words, neuter, anthropomorphic, ontological position. These are very, for someone like me, I had to look them up. What does that mean? But there's so many gems just even in this purport. It's so beautiful. It talks about throughout the Bhagavatam, the steady combination of fascinating pastimes with persistent spiritual philosophy is an extraordinary feature. Isn't it? It's so nice, actually. We get to hear the pastimes and then we get the philosophy as we hear the pastimes. So when you hear something like the Mahabharata, you get all these stories, much more absorbing than probably binging a Netflix something. But then you get the philosophy, and the philosophy starts to make sense, the subtleties of the culture of what it means to be devotees. And in this version of the Mahabharata, you see a lot of people planting their flags and declaring, "Are you a follower of Vishnu?" Because they know the demons are coming. They're coming to this planet. And so they have to figure out, they got to suss out, are you really a follower of Vishnu? And if you are, if you're truly a follower of Vishnu, then you have to declare it. Because the demons are too proud to declare if they're actually followers of Vishnu. And so you'll see that a lot where you start to get these different uh, reminders of what is this, how does this philosophy play out in our lives? And yet we get to hear these amazing stories. And then this realization, it seems, that comes when you're reading the Bhagavatam on a regular basis. I've heard many devotees in their own words say the same thing, where in the purport he says, we're allowed to glimpse and even relish the spiritual emotions of the Lord and his liberated associates. And yet we're constantly reminded of their position. So I've heard many devotees as they read the Bhagavatam over and over again, they start to say, "Oh, the prayers are wonderful in the Bhagavatam." Have you heard that before? The prayers they're now wonderful. Before I used to rush through them. Before I used to sprint through the prayers. Oh God, another prayer coming. Oh boy, what are we talking about? Let's keep it moving. Keep it moving. Get me into this story. Oh boy, here's somebody else dropping down, saying their prayers. Next. But I hear that a lot where devotees who are reading the Bhagavatam, they say, no, 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 these are really important. It's these prayers are super important because why? Because we're catching glimpses into the heart of a devotee. And we're also catching glimpses into the emotions of a devotee and how to reciprocate and how to reciprocate with the Lord. And so then if we take a peek at that, then we're doing that thing that we all like. We are catching some secrets here. I don't know about you, but I'm into secrets. I practically get paid to listen to people's secrets. Not kidding you. People tell me secrets. This guy says this about this other person. Somebody else tells something about something else. And I just hear the secrets. I hear the hearts of people and they share secrets. And it's nice. It's nice to hear secrets. It's nice to hear what's in the heart. When I hear what's in the heart of a great devotee, oh man, it's ecstatic, isn't it? Wow. Akrura, without cruelty. This Akrura, what a secret confidant he is, isn't he? Gets sent by Kamsa. Go get this rascal Krishna. I'm going to kill him. we're going to throw a big party and we're going to pretend that it's all good. You go get him. And so he's, oh God, what am I going to do? And he runs over there. And sometimes, I don't know if you've had this experience, but sometimes you can't, when you have a secret, you can't hold it in anymore. You know? So Akura just he goes over and he sees Krishna and he can't hold in his love and his affection and he just tells him everything. Kamsa's gonna kill you. He's trying to kill you. This is what's going on. This is what's happening. You still want to go? I just wanted to see you. Krishna says, no problem. Let's go. And so then they start to make their way in the chariot. Of course, it's a very dramatic and sad scene for sure. But once they get past the gopis, he starts to make his way into the chariot, and then Krishna's revealing his secrets. They dive into the water, and all of a sudden he sees the universal form. He's thinking, what is going on here? And so there's this exchange of secrets that's happening. And I always wanted that. I always wanted to, how do I find out secrets? Do you just hear them? But no, there has to be some type of pleasing of the devotees that's going on. And look at what Akura does to gain these secrets that are coming. Now, of course, he's done his previous service. Of course, he's connected to them in a certain way. But he just does everything that the pujaris are doing right now. He's welcoming them very nicely. He's sprinkling some, he's got the water there. He's got the sandalwood paste. He's just, he's out there and he's making them very happy. He's pleasing them. And then he does something that is it's a hidden secret in the bhakti movement. And it's practically, we've had many conversations with Vasudev since he's been here. And I was telling him, and it just, these words came out last night. And I said, it's practically the key to my spiritual life. Can anybody guess what that is? That's in this little pastime.
Association.
Association's good, yeah. Definitely. But he takes his feet and he puts them on his lap and he does what with them? Hidden secret of bhakti. He massages his feet. Oh, a good massage, right? Just a good massage. There's nothing like it. Heart start flowing. What's in the heart starts to come out. You start to relax. You get into a good atmosphere. Now, you weren't expecting that, but that's practically the only way that I've ever pleased somebody is just giving them a good massage. And if you give a great soul a good massage, then you don't have to ask, can I have your blessings? It's already flowing. It's already flowing. So it starts to flow. And so what happens? Just by pleasing Krishna, then all of a sudden his heart just breaks open and he starts sharing his heart of hearts. And we start to see who is Krishna, who's Balaram, who are these personalities, and we get the whole philosophy right there. So I remember I did something that was not very smart for my spiritual master, and he said, no, to serve means to please, And so if we want to please, then we got to do those things that make that person happy. And when I looked at this verse, I said, I think there's three things here. It's the person wants to please, he wants to know the secrets, and he also is just so sincere. And so we broke this text down into something like that. So this pastime of massage is all over the CC. Have you noticed that? The devotees get together, they have prasad, they chant and dance. Sometimes they'll talk Bhagavatam or they'll talk something like that. And then they're starting to go to bed or Lord Chaitanya starts to get tired and then they start to massage his legs. There's a very famous pastime of Lord Chaitanya's servant massaging Lord Chaitanya when he's tired. He's just so exhausted. Lord Chaitanya slumps down into the doorway and he doesn't know what to do. oh man, I can't cross over the body of Lord Chaitanya. That's an offense. What am I going to do? And so he puts the his shirt over the top, or his chadar over the top of him, and he crosses over him, and then he massages him, because that was his duty. That was part of his gig, was to please the Lord in that way. But then he stays there for many hours after he's done. Lord Chaitanya wakes up and he looks at him and he says, Govind, what are you doing? Why are you still here? And he said, well, I was willing to make an offense to cross over you to do my service, but I wasn't willing to make an offense just because now I have to go. That's a really simple pastime, but it's very, very deep, isn't it? This is the heart of how to please. I'm willing to do anything to actually serve you and please you, but I'm not willing, if it's just for me, then this is not service, it's not actually pleasure. And so there's many, many pastimes where Lord Chaitanya will dance in ecstasy, and then the devotees will come and they'll massage him. They'll massage him. They'll massage him. They'll massage his calves. They'll massage his feet. They'll massage his legs. And it's just so pleasing. It's relieving. And what did Srila Prabhupada teach us through his personal example? He got 2 massages a day. Right before lunch, nice vigorous massage. And then right before he's going to bed, just a gentle massage on the legs and the feet. Somebody giving their everything. He would say often, this is giving me life. This massage is giving me life. So it's a little secret that for a lot of us, we're probably thinking, oh God, the only time, no, I can't massage somebody. I can't. But I don't know if you've ever, you know, had a loving touch. It's such a powerful thing, actually. Just a good, a big hug, rub on the shoulders just for a little bit. You just feel, oh man, you feel enlivened again. And it's fantastic. And I was saying that practically my entire spiritual life is based off of massage. So I'll share one story of massage for you. Do you like that? Ananda Bihari always smiles at these persons.
Yeah.
So practically how my spiritual life started, I've told this story before, but since I told it to Vasudev and Vandana here, I said, okay, well, they said, you need to write that down. So this is me writing it down on YouTube. Okay. So what happened was I was very inimical towards devotees, really didn't want to, not towards devotees, towards gurus, was not into the whole guru thing. Too risky business to give your heart to somebody who isn't worthy of your trust. And somebody was trying to get me to meet this great guru. God, I'm not going to meet him, not going to meet him. But anyway, I ended up in the LA temple, and the great guru comes in. Everybody's hitting the deck, and they're falling down, and I'm thinking, I'm not falling down to this guy, especially this guy. Look at this guy. He can't even take care of himself. They're wheeling him in on a wheelchair. Gurus aren't like that. Gurus they are shiny and bright, and they float. They're not on a wheelchair and in a difficult physical situation. No way. He wheels by me, and I feel really bad actually right when he goes by me, because I even got my arms crossed. No, I'm not bowing down to you. But in my heart, I turned around, looked, and then because he had a stroke, he turned and looked, and he looked at me and he said, "You want to go to lunch?" And I said, yes, really quick without thinking. And I thought, oh God, why did I say I got to go to lunch with this guy? But anyway, let's go to lunch. So I go to lunch, and the previous guru figure that I met could read minds, had a legitimate power. They could read minds. And so I get in there, and there's 3 things in my life that I was really concerned with at that time. The physical body, because I was a former athlete, being famous, because I was in LA, and traveling, because that's how I used to have fun. And without missing a beat, this personality looks at me and says, "Did you know that I have the Guinness Book of World Records for travel in a year?" I said, "I didn't know that, no." So I thought, oh God, this guy's starting to read my mind already. He already knows. And then he says, Did you know that the definition of being famous is what George Harrison did? And I was like, what does that mean? And he said, it means to become famous amongst the devotees. It means to be a great devotee. Then you're really famous. And I thought, this guy is just reading me right now. He's answering my questions. What is it? What is this really all about? And then the thing that was really in my mind the whole time was that this guy's a cheater because his body's not healthy. So I thought, oh man, he must be just a cheater. His body's not healthy. He's not like, and he read it deep in the heart, but I couldn't say it, but I was being very offensive internally. And he read it really quick and he grabbed some maha off his plate, some uh, soggy salad, and he shoved it in my mouth. And he said, looked me in the eyes with his beautiful blue eyes, and he said, you are not your body. And he hit that chord, that thing that was keeping me from even seeing him. And then I somehow, nibbled this wet salad. And then I said, so what do you do all day? And he said, oh, I got to get all these treatments. I got to do all this stuff. And I got to get stretched because he had a stroke. I got to get stretched and pulled. And I said, whoa, with what? And they said, oh, they put me on machines. And I said, well, I can do that because I know how to massage. I know how to stretch. And he goes, okay, see you tomorrow at 5:30. So 5:30 comes and I'm with him and I'm watching him throughout the entire day. And I'm thinking, man, he's so sweet, actually. He's incredible. The way he exchanged with the nurses, the way he exchanged with all the people at the gym, the way he exchanged with the people in the pool, the way he exchanged with the eye doctor, everything, all these little appointments, the way he gave class. This person's very sweet. But now it's towards the evening and now I'm going to do the massage because we got to stretch him. And I did Thai massage at that time. Does anybody know what Thai massage? Thai massage is not just your hands, it's also your feet. So here I am, me who's supposedly giving massage to this wonderful personality, got my feet on him, pulling him, stretching him, doing all these different things like that. And um, maybe halfway in, the servants come in and they just lose it because the etiquette, you're not supposed to put your feet on this person. You're not supposed to do all these things. What is going on? Oh my God. And he just shooed him away. I said, no, no, it's good. So I was giving the massage, doing whatever. And it was totally sweet and totally ecstatic. And I did this for a few days. Um, and that's what really started my spiritual life. Just getting the blessings of a great soul. And that great soul was His Holiness Jayapataka Swami. And so that, who's, Nityananda's grace flowing through him, and that's just by that little act of massage, so much I basically credit the entire spiritual, uh, the start of my spiritual life just by that. So that's one story. And the secrets, right? The secrets, the sweet things come. His affection, I could feel was flowing to me. What I didn't know it then, but now when I look back at it, I think, wow, he was so kind. He was so gracious, actually. Yeah. So there's many mother stories like that, but the point of telling this story is that uh, when we're pleasing the devotees, now it may or may not be massage, but when we're pleasing them genuinely, then those secrets can flow to us. They actually flow to us like a river. It can enter into the heart. So our meditation on how can I please this person? How can I please these devotees? How can I please my spiritual master here is the secret. That's how all the secrets get revealed. And that's how we reveal or at least attempt to be sincere. Now, I don't know if you've ever looked at what is it, Vanipedia or whatever, wherever they have you'll see if you look up secrets, you'll see it is all over the place. Actually, I'll do it for us right now. It's all over the place of, well, what is the secret of spiritual life? And you'll see Srila Prabhupada will say it over and over and over again, that the secrets is when the spiritual master is pleased. This is how you get those. Guyam is the Sanskrit word, and you'll hear that a lot in the Gita. They'll use that word, Guyam, the secret. And so how do I get the secret? Well, let me please the spiritual master. What would please the spiritual master in this situation? Our talks with Vasudev these last few days they've brought up one great soul who pleased, and many times we went back to this great soul, Brahmananda Prabhu. We've told a lot of stories, we've heard a lot of stories, and somehow both of us had some association with him. And so we were sharing those. And Vasudev reminded me of a story where Brahmananda Prabhu was telling his spiritual master, Vasudev's spiritual master, about just kind of humbly saying in a conversation that, Srila Prabhupada kicked me out of ISKCON for a short time because I was so immature, because I was saying that he was God. I was just so immature, and then and this is also it's in an actual lecture that he gives later too. But apparently this was in a nice loving exchange. And he said, I just so immature. I was thinking he's God. That was just my sense. And he goes, and now, however many years later, and he tears up and he chokes up. He said, yeah, he's not God. He's better than God, because he came here to the Lower East Side and he saved Bruce. Bruce, old Brahmananda Prabhu. So whilst hearing these pastimes of Krishna and Akrura and this 10th canto is completely ecstatic. There's nothing like that meditation of just hearing. What is Krishna doing? He's about to send him to Hastinapur, and he's about to go and get the recon right now. Akrura, go get some recon. Is this Dhritarashtra tainted by this Duryodhana? Is that what's going on? Is he tainted? Go get the recon. You're expert at riding that chariot. You're expert at getting that information. Go get that recon. Now that's incredible to meditate on, but it's also just so beautiful to please the spiritual master, this personality that you can smell, taste, touch, see in this life, and all of these secrets of what goes on in the spiritual world, all of that can flow to us. And so I'm seeing in the temple room, there's Jaini Tai. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, good to see you. Oh, and there, yes, and your good wife, very good to see you. Some wonderful souls here. Hare Krishna Prabhu. And yeah, anyway, all these wonderful souls there on that Lower East Side, and I'm feeling very much in separation of you all right now. Here in, what did Prabhupada call it? A remote corner of the world, Alatra, whereas you're in this absolute tirtha of ecstasy of Srila Prabhupada's lotus feet, walking that wonderful place of the Lower East Side, and attempting to please the spiritual master. So with that, I'll end. Thankful, grateful, Ananda Bihari for the chance to speak, and thank you all devotees.
Thank you, Jai Giridhari Prabhu. Very encouraging class. Thank you very much. Jaini Tai Prabhu is going to ask a question or share a reflection. Jaini Tai Prabhu looks like a Vaikuntha man.
Hare Krishna, can you hear me? Jai,
Yeah.
Jai, wonderful to see you and hear you, and wonderful to get your association there in GEV, and now see you back in Alachua, in that remote corner of the universe. Wonderful class, and yeah, I guess just a little reflection on your sharing about doing this service, and really wanted to acknowledge you for opening your heart and sharing, what was in there. Some things, when we hear like what you were thinking about this person and that person, but it's such a fact. It's so true that in the beginning we feel these things, and so wonderful how you shared how by serving Maharaj and of course Maharaj being so merciful and giving you the opportunity and just doing Thai massage on Maharaj. I can imagine his disciples were flipping out like, what's this guy putting his feet on? But yeah, this point of getting the opportunity to serve the great souls, and we know of course Narada Muni made all progress by the opportunity of serving the Bhaktivedantas and the great souls, and we see what a wonderful and great soul you've also become by the opportunity to serve these souls. So really wonderful to hear your class, and just really honored and privileged to be here following in your footsteps at the Bhakti Center. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you.
Damodar Priya.
Hare Krishna, Jai Giridhari Prabhu.
Hare
I'm
Krishna.
also in Alachua, so I feel very blessed to virtually be a part of this Sangha with you. And it would be amazing to get to see Vasudev Prabhu, but we understand we have to respect his privacy if he's doing a writing retreat. But I just wanted to thank you as well for your vulnerability, because I think it's really difficult sometimes when you see the end result of a bhakti journey, which is like where you are now, and people don't often share where they started in terms of like, what were those internal thoughts, what were those doubts, what were those potential like offensive kind of ways of being. And it's even more powerful for me personally, I don't know for anybody else, to appreciate and see the transformation that the mercy of the devotees, the mercy of Krishna, the mercy of devotional service can do when people are honest and sharing where they started. So I just wanted to thank you for that and really appreciate that. And you know that I don't know if you remember, but I did Krishna Kids, so I'm always looking for pastimes with the littles. So I'm just wondering if you have any pastimes with your littles that you can share with us that you feel comfortable doing so.
Pastimes with Jayabai Charan? There's already unlimited little pastimes with that guy. Well, let me say something to what you said before. We're in Kali Yuga, and you can get away with offensive thinking. It's not helpful, but you can get away with it. So I'm grateful that the offensive thinking didn't turn into offensive speaking, because you can't get away with that. Lord Chaitanya said, chant Hare Krishna, or chant, and just don't criticize the devotees. And Vasudeva and I have spoken a lot about that since he's been here too, is that, what we've seen is you can have all of those different thoughts and that type of thing, but it's truly razor blades. There's no need to criticize or offend or to really, we might have doubts and stuff like that, but always amongst the devotees, just rare, special souls close to Krishna, just be very gentle, very, very thoughtful of how we can overcome those doubts. And if we're humble and we're sincere, then we can overcome those things. And I was neither of those, but I just didn't, the one qualification, I didn't speak it. I didn't say it. I just kept it inside, which is a little, and see, a great soul can see that, and they can help remove those doubts even when we don't have the ability to speak those words. That we didn't even know. I didn't even know that I was so on the bodily platform that he had to, give me a little zinger to get me off of that crazy vision. Because now we see that, this is a unbelievable Vaishnav. I'm not the only. He's engaged so many people through the seva of helping his body. He's, literally thousands and thousands of people he's engaged. So yeah, so with that being said, nothing's coming to mind. Little Jayabai Charan, he's on his way back right now. They're about to board or leave the GEV. They've been there for 6 months or 6 weeks, and that's a special place for children. The GEV, it's a great place. I recommend all kids, in that age range, 3 to whatever it may be, it should go. It's a perfect place for them to increase their Krishna consciousness and pick up the culture. That's the main thing that I saw. It's a beautiful place to pick up the culture, because when we're in the West, the culture is, what the heck is that thing? Paw Patrol. Is that what it is? The culture is Paw Patrol and Spider-Man and whatever it is. And there it's Bhima and, Hanuman and Arjuna, and it's just ecstatic. It's so nice to see. And just by association, I did see, I mean, I didn't see it. Sham saw it. He had a bead bag, no beads in it, and he was just walking and going Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, like that. And so it's just by association, just started emulating people. I mean, that's ecstatic. So yeah, that's what I got. Dora the Explorer. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, when you see a devotee chanting, you should always squeeze their bead bag to make sure there are beads in there. A good practice. That's what I do all the time.
What do you got in there? Yeah.
Everybody has beads so far. Everybody. Yeah.
Little Jai didn't, so you can check it
Okay.
out. Yeah.
Okay.
Where's your
Yeah.
bead, Jai?
Yeah. Jamuna Jaya had her hand up, and we know she's teaching bhakti at 8 o'clock. Jamuna Jaya.
Thank you, Jai. I'm outside now, so hopefully it won't be too loud. But thank you for class. And I'm always remembering the past time you said of little Jai, you were doing walks. You were doing your driveway or something,
Yeah.
and little Jai had the wheelbarrow, and he was trying to help you so badly, but you were actually the one pushing the wheelbarrow behind it and then reminding us that it's actually Christian that's doing the work. So I remember to this day when you tell us that pastime. So there's one little Jai story. But
Yeah.
I had wanted to say that thank you for reminding us of the pastime massaging the feet. I have to say, when you asked the question, I was like, what is the secret? And then I thought, it can't be massage. That's why I didn't say anything. But it's like, oh, it was massaging. It took me back. But it is that thing of, the feet being the lowest, and even the lowest of a great soul is higher than me. And that beautiful reminds me of the beautiful pastime of the king and the Chaitanya
Yeah.
Chamrita, about, Lord Chaitanya wouldn't see him,
Yep.
see him. And then Lord Chaitanya's underneath the tree and he comes up and he massages the feet. And that's such a beautiful image of the humility of the king. And then Lord Chaitanya opens up his eyes. So thank you for reminding us of these things.
Oh,
Hare
thank you for
Krishna.
reminding me. Where is look at this. Right on cue, Jamuna Jaya. Right on cue here. Hold on. Right on cue. Totally ecstatic. Yeah. That's another great pastime. Lord Chaitanya getting his feet massaged by King Prataparuja. It's part of the gig. There's something special about that. He massaged the feet. He sprinkled their feet, and then he put that water on his head. If you ever drank that water, it's also quite ecstatic. It's like, whoa, what's going on here? Because we're because we're ultimately we get situated in Jiver Swarupa Krishna and Nityadas, our actual position, and that's really the potency of it. So thanks for sharing that. Yeah, little Jai was wanting to help, and he took a little scoop of a rock and was placing them there, and it just moved my heart. It just moved my heart. And so, like you said, like the loving father, if we're yeah, hi.
We'll give them a round of applause. That was very inspiring.
रामचंद्र भगवान की beautiful. You say you're going back to Alachua? You're just going to stay here? Great, great. Hare Krishna.
Shri Shri Radha Muladhar Shri Guru Chandra ki jai. Jai Giridhari Prabhu ki jai. Wonderful class. Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you for
Prabhu. I would
association.
massage your feet right now, Ananda Bihari. I'm massaging in my head. No. Haribo.
Hare Krishna. Okay, Karen, who's that? Who's that little Vaishnavet? Or Vaishnava?
This is my son, Isaiah.
Isaiah. Hare Krishna, Isaiah.
Isaiah.
Hare Krishna. Here, put the thing on. I took the headphone out of the phone.
Yeah.
Hi, Isaiah.
Say hello.
Hey, bud.
Hare Krishna. Thank
Hare
you for
Krishna.
tuning in class. Nice t-shirt.
Yeah.
Can I
Hare
have it
Krishna.
when you grow up?
T-shirt, t-shirt. Yeah.
All right. Thanks, everyone. Wishing you a
Hare
wonderful day
Krishna.
tomorrow. Jai Giridhari Prabhu, please bow down to Vasudev and Vandana for us. All right. Hare Krishna.